Hey guys, how you doing? I'm great. Thank you for asking. How's the conference going? Well, sure. Yeah, I would love to talk about that. So, hi everybody. My name's Kelsey. I'm a Jesuit volunteer in Portland, Oregon. I live with 7 other volunteers in a house up here, and I work at Pathfinder Academy, which is an alternative high school for pregnant and parenting teens. And simple living has been a really big part of my year. It's actually been a big part of the last year as well. I was at JV last year, so I've had a lot of time to think about this. And one of my favorite things about simple living is that there are so many different ways to interpret that value. So there are a lot of really tangible things you can do, right? Like bike commuting to work, or eating locally, or doing energy fasts. But there's also a lot of more abstract ways to think about simple living, like what does it mean to be in a simple relationship, to maybe not be in constant communication with everyone you love all the time? Or what does it mean to practice simplicity of time? So these are some things I've gotten to think about over the last year. And one thing I'd like to think about is there are a lot of ways to light your home, right? And a lot of those ways are sort of expensive or maybe not very great for the environment. But I am going to show you guys today one way to light your home that is cheap. You can do it with all materials that can be found in your home, and totally safe for the environment. So we're going to make something called a mint tin lamp. So the first thing we need to make our lamp is we need a container of some sort. So something about the size of your hand, just a few inches deep. I don't know what in my house I
Man, I really love these Altoids. I go through this real quick though. What am I supposed to do with the empty tins?
Alex, you are a lifesaver. This is our container, folks. We're going to use this Altoid tin. So the first thing we want to do to make our mint tin lamp is we want to poke some holes in the lid of it, okay? So I'm going to use this knife right here. Now, you want to be careful, but all we're going to do is just get the start of a hole with the tip of the knife, and then I'm actually going to use a screwdriver to finish making the hole, because that's a little bit safer. So you want to make 2 holes. I'm going to put one in the center of my tin, and that is going to be where my wick is going to come out of. And I'm going to put another one next to it that's going to allow for better oxygen flow. So, let me just get this started. Okay. And I'm going to get the screwdriver in there to kind of make it a little bigger. And then I'm going to make another one for just a few inches to the side. And that one doesn't need to be very big because that one is just going to allow for more oxygen. All right. So now I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to poke some holes in your tins. I know there's a lot of you out there. Please be safe, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Hey guys. So I hope you all got holes poked in the top of your tin. The next step in making our mint tin lamp is we need to put a wick in it. So now, a wick needs to be made of natural fiber, right? So something like an old shoelace works really well because it's cotton and that'll burn really well. So, you know, my shoes don't actually have any laces, but...
I just broke my shoelace. Do you think you could use that?
Yes, I could. This is what community is about, folks. Thanks, Al. So this right here, this shoelace, this is going to be perfect. This is cotton. So now you want to cut a piece of a shoelace that is going to be long enough to coil around the inside of your mint tin. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this piece right here, this is a pretty good length. So now I'm going to open my tin, and I'm going to just lay it on the inside and coil it up a little bit. This is important because when we pour the oil into the mint tin, we want the wick to be saturated with oil a little bit. It's going to burn better that way. So I'm just going to coil this right in here, and then I'm going to thread it through this middle hole, which is a little tricky, but there we go. And I'm actually going to trim the top off of this one because it's kind of frayed. But you just want a few inches of the wick to be standing up on the outside of the tin, just like that, all right? So now we got our wick, we got our oxygen hole. The next thing we need is fuel. So for this tin, I'm going to use olive oil. Olive oil is a really good fuel to use for a lamp like this because it's cheap, it's really safe. You only need about a teaspoon of it to make this lamp burn for a whole hour. and it doesn't emit any kind of odor or a lot of smoke or anything like that. So it's really nice to have in your home. So you guys aren't going to put oil in your lamps right now because that might get kind of messy. But I do have one over here, conveniently, that already has some oil in it. So this guy right here has about a teaspoon of oil. Now, before you light your lamp, you want to let the wick saturate in the oil just a little bit. It's going to burn better that way. So now, I'm going to light this guy for you, give you an idea of the kind of ambiance this kind of lamp can create. Don't do this right now. This would be dangerous. But there we go. All right. So there it is, folks. Now, as you can imagine, this lamp is very multi-purpose. This is going to be useful for your spirituality nights, your poetry readings, your romantic dinners. You could probably come up with 100 more uses for it. My point is, it's clean, it's safe, and it can be made from things in your home. So thank you all for doing this activity with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I was going to go make some black bean burgers, so I'll catch you later.